as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master leads against the foe. Forward into battle, see his banners go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Oh, for a faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe, that will not tremble on the brink of any earthly woe, that will not murmur or complain beneath a chastening rod, but in the hour of grief or pain will lean upon its God. A faith that shines more bright and clear when tempest rage without, that when in danger knows no fear, in darkness feels no doubt. Lord, give us such a faith as this, and then whate'er may come, we'll taste and hear the hallowed bliss of an eternal home. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fit it for the sky, to serve the present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, may it all my powers engage to do my Master's will. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live, and O thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give. Help me to watch and pray, and on thyself rely, assured if I my trust betray, I shall forever die. Rise up, O man of God, have done with lesser things, give heart and mind and soul and strength to serve the King of Kings. Rise up, O man of God, his kingdom tarries long. Bring in the day of brotherhood and end the night of wrong. Rise up, O man of God, the church for you doth wait, her strength unequal to her task. Rise up and make her great. Lift high the cross of Christ, tread where his feet have trod, as brothers of the Son of Man, rise up, O men of God.
Good afternoon, y'all. I am Shea Westfall, servant of Christ, and I'll be your servant for the next little while. Yeah. How's everyone's day going? I do hope that this video finds you well, and that you may get use from this video. CJ, I see what you did there. Tagging Levi Westfall. CJ says howdy. Did you get Heather?
You gotta say, howdy. Howdy.
It's howdy.
Howdy.
That's such a
Howdy.
wrong way. That's such a wrong way to pronounce it.
Howdy.
Howdy. How do
That's,
you doing, partner?
oh boy. There's
Angie.
no helping you.
What was that?
I said there is no helping you. who did I miss?
Looks like Heather, Stephanie. Did you get Kay, Kathleen, and Kate? Sam's still cutting grass, not done yet. Nope, Dad came out there and he tells me, well, it's time to take over your show. And so he got on the lawnmower and went riding around. They're getting close. It's a fairly nice sized lawn. How you doing, Sam? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? It's been a pretty good day here so far. Totally overcast, slightly chilly. Unusual weather for, what is it, May? March?
Pretty sure it's May, not March.
That's what I thought.
Wow. And you have a recording of you saying March. Blackmail.
I said May? March? Huh.
I can totally take this as a
Out of
statement.
context.
Yep. I'm gonna cut it and send it to Levi. Which one is it? May or March? He doesn't
Totally.
know.
Oh, you have a lot of trip ups. Lot of trip ups on those medications. That's what I thought. Sam says he's good at 12:26 a.m. Yeah. 12:26 a.m. It's 11:28 a.m. here. And Sam says he's doing good.
It's 12:28 a.m. here. P.m. a.m. Oh no, now you got me.
It's a.m.
P.m. 12:28 p.m. here.
Well, yeah, it would be, I suppose. There. It's a.m. here. Still.
Thank you, Sam.
And Sam is already on tomorrow time. So it's Sunday for Sam. Yeah, Sam says, CJ, you did a good job on your morning meditation. He does a really good job most of the time. I only have like 4 in the problems folder.
Most of the time?
Yep. I only have like 4 in the problems folder, and that's all the audio issues. But other than that, CJ does a wonderful job at morning meditations. We'll give them a few more minutes, and then we'll delve into our text of Psalms 10. Hey, Sam, how's tomorrow looking? Is tomorrow going to be a good day? She just says thank you. And Sam says it's simple and plain speaking. Easily understood.
I try to make it that way.
Then you are successful, brother.
Good.
You aren't like Paul. Some of his things are really hard to understand. We have written in the Bible. What is it, Peter?
Notice that I haven't done a morning meditation on that yet.
You know how, like, I think it's Peter says, some of the things that Paul says are hard to understand.
I gotta get back to doing those morning meditations. Probably when I get the full strength again, I'll probably check out at least 20 next week.
Yeah, I'm getting close to only having 20 left.
Well, yeah, I need some more new ones.
Sam says tomorrow is going to be hot and the water of the ocean is warm.
Alright, something to look forward to.
We don't have an ocean anywhere nearby up here.
Oh.
Now, CJ being in Michigan has a nice, lovely lake that could be, or a pond that could be considered a lake up there.
Yep.
There's a song out there about Lake Michigan. And in the song, it goes, Lake Michigan steams like a young man's dreams.
Are we ready to start the
Yes,
nuggets?
we are.
Alright. Down to business. Whip.
Psalms 10.
Whip.
What? Oh, you being a taskmaster again? I need to put my shades back on, buddy. Psalms chapter 10. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. For as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing, and deceit, and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places that he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly, as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor, when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth, and humbleth himself, and the poor may fall, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face, and will never see it. Arise, O Lord, lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite. To requite it with thy hand, the poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness, till thou find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble, that will prepare their hearts. Wilt, or thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, and the man of the earth, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. Sam says you got to understand Paul's background, and yes, sometimes Paul has things I have read over and over. Yes. I mean, Paul grew up at the feet of Gamaliel, one of the chief scribes. Paul had a deep understanding of the scripture in general, and then add being inspired to that, some of the things in the way he wrote it are downright just difficult to understand. But not impossible. And Mom says hi. Hello, Mother. Alrighty. Now it is time to dig into our text. We have here in Psalms 10, the psalmist starts out with, Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The psalmist looks out and sees the wicked working very much and being very successful. And he wonders, why, Lord, are you not here? Where are you? The psalmist continues in and says, The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. He goes to describe the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. And then he asks God, let them be taken in the devices for they have imagined. Kind of like the fall in the pit they dug. He wants justice on the wicked. Because the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. He says the wicked are doing and are on the exact opposite side of the Lord. They're in the side that he abhorreth. And the psalmist wonders, why aren't you doing anything? The wicked through his pride, or through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all of his thoughts. Because of the pride of the wicked, they don't seek after God. They don't search him out because they are too prideful. Their pride gets in the way. And he goes on to say, and God is not in all of his thoughts. The wicked don't hardly ever think of God. They don't consider him. And so they don't fear him. He goes on, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. His ways are grievous. They're difficult, full of trials. They bring the wicked into lots of grief. And he goes, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. The wicked are so far down that he cannot see God's judgments. God's judgments are so far up that they can't see him. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. In his pride, he puffeth, he snorts. He thinks he's the type of guy, he's like, oh, I can take him, bring him on, bring him on. Because he's so prideful. He is arrogant. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. He doesn't see the troubles that lie before him. He's arrogant and thinks that he's well off. He'll never have a problem. He'll never be in trouble. And the psalmist goes on to describe the wicked further. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. This is how we can know the wicked. Their mouth is full of cursing. They are deceitful and fraudulent. Under their tongue is mischief and vanity. They speak all of these things. They're full of them. And he goes on to say how they lurk. They're lurkers. They hide in secret places, watching. Kind of like he uses the description of a lion in his den. Or you could use this description of a cobra in a hole, just sitting there waiting for the right moment to strike. He sitteth there, waiting, watching for the right moment when the poor are weak. He is set against the poor. He lieth secretly. He lieth to catch. And he doth catch the poor when he draweth him in his net. He is deceitful. He lures them in. He croucheth and humbleth himself. He looks humble, and it's all a lie. It's fake. That the poor may fall into by his strong ones. It's I'm humble so that they can get them all nice and close, and then grab them. CJ says 1 Peter 5:8. What is that, CJ? I mean, I can turn their eyes focus. Be sober, be vigilant. You scroll too far down. Because your adversity, the devil, is as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. Yes, we got to watch. We got to be vigilant. Just a side note, that's another reason not to drink. Because when you're out of it, you can't watch and be vigilant. But we got to watch for this lion. Because he's ready to pounce. He's just waiting. And so we have to have our shields up and ready to block him. He has said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. You will never see it. There again, the psalmist points out the wicked's arrogance. In his heart, he thinks, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. He thinks he's in the clear. He thinks he's all good because he underestimates the power of God. The psalmist then turns and says, Arise, O Lord, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. The psalmist begs the Lord into action. Wherefore doth the wicked condemn God? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. Excuse me. He questions this. He says, Lord, they're condemning you. They're mocking you. They have said in their heart that you will not require it, that you won't call it into account, that you won't pay any mind to it. But the psalmist says, Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite. To requite it with thy hand, the poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. The psalmist takes comfort, knowing that God does in fact see all the wrong that the wicked do. He says, For thou beholdest, thou seest it. And why? To requite it with thy hand. He will pay it back in full. He will execute proper judgment upon the wicked. So the psalmist takes comfort knowing that the Lord comes out on top. He says, the poor committeth himself to thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. He says, the poor stand behind God. God is their defender and protector. They are committed unto him. He says, Thou art the helper of the fatherless. He helps those who are fatherless. Then the psalmist asks action. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. He wants God to remove all wickedness. He says, give them their punishment. Break their arm. Terminate all wickedness. He goes, The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. The Lord is king. He is supreme, has all authority and all power, forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. The evil people, the heathen, they perish. Evil does not strive, or does not thrive, with God. It just doesn't grow well in his land. He says, Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their hearts. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear. And he takes comfort again, knowing the Lord hears the humble. He says, "That will prepare their hearts. That will cause thine ear to hear." He takes comfort knowing that God is not turning a blind eye and that God is not deaf. God will avenge the poor. The wicked only get a brief moment of triumph. He says to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. The Lord judges the fatherless and the oppressed. He takes them into account. He weighs all the scales and finds the justice. That the man of earth may no more oppress. There be gold in them there pages. There we have it. Psalms 10. I tell you, that mine shaft was riddled with gold nuggets just bursting out of the walls. I want to thank y'all for being here with me, for listening and commenting. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Until we meet again, God bless y'all. Love ya. Bye bye.